conversation was sustainability inherently is an elitist system or recycling, right?
Yeah.
We think, oh yeah, we should be recycling, we should be doing this. We scream all of this from the top of our lungs. Go back to other countries, right, that are not as lucky, right? So that are torn by war or have other issues. Look at these people. There was a recent article, I think National or one of the big news channels posted it. It's Syrians in war-torn areas, literally picking up plastic from the floor and getting cash back from it, walking 100 miles to drop it off in the right place and actually get it and then make it into pipes that they can use to rebuild their homes, right? And that's the biggest difference in thought process, right? Because for them, there's value in that particular material. For us, it's not. It's something that we throw away. And I think that is the thing that you were pointing out, right? It's imperfect actions, right? You don't have to be. I'll give you an example of this pod. It took us so long to set this up because we were trying to chase some sort of perfection. Yeah. Right?
True.
The thing is just start, right? Start. Get on it. Dan started 30 years ago when his dad was one of the first ones to do something similar to an expo.
Well, no, even before that, 1992, turning plastic into
fabric. 31 years.
Nice.
But back then, it wasn't, people didn't care. Like he was on, my mum will know, I can't remember, but I think it's BBC Radio. And the interviewer who was interviewing about this fabric was like, okay, so if I open my trouser fly, will it go tss, like a Coke bottle? And my dad was just like, this guy's an idiot.
Classic.
Like, how can I talk with someone like this? People just aren't ready to listen to it.
So the issue with plastic, so again, this is where the polarizing part of the conversation comes in, right? Either you are anti-plastic or you are, hey, plastic is not that bad. Well, I'm in the middle of this, like single-use plastic, horrible. Of course it is. And we should say no to it. But plastic,
it's cheap.
And it's amazing. Your food, the planes that you fly, the phones that you use, this pod that you're running right now, right, has plastic components in it.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining about.
This is it. It's hard to rewire industries and products and services that have been built on fossil fuels from 100 years ago with products and materials that at the time were deemed fine and safe, but now with the benefit of hindsight, we now have all of these alternate, materials. The science and innovation going into, as you say, Dan, like, the products that you can use to manufacture garments, your phones, your cars, the science is there now. It's how do you impact and sort of, roll that out en masse. It's not something you can do overnight. And that's where there's a real, I'm probably more of a realist. I understand, the importance and plastic's not fantastic and all that sort of stuff. But, there's also like the realist in me knows that these sort of things can't be changed overnight. We're bound by years of like policy making, regulations, the cost and economies of scale to implement all of this. But that's where it all becomes super divisive. And I think we shouldn't be calling each other out. It should be, well, have you considered this? It's, we all understand it's behaved in this way and we've consumed and behaved in this way for many years. But education at the end of the day is giving people alternate options. Not everyone can afford to be, EV drivers. It's becoming a little bit cheaper now en masse, but, still not everyone has that access and luxury to go there. So let's not call each other out on that. And then similarly, there's a whole host of, not everyone can be vegan, from a cost of consumption. And then, this, as we say, navigating the complexity of sustainability. I was reading an article about people who have a purely vegetarian lifestyle are more at risk of suffering from dementia. Now, take that with a pinch of salt. This is obviously based on research recently, but, there's percentages to sort of show that there are, on case studies, more increased risk. And it's like, okay, well, I want to do my bit for the planet, but I also want to look after my health. And I think it's, again, how do you communicate this? And this is why there's so much misinformation out there that sustainability can be quite scary. Kids are like suffering from climate anxiety because all they're hearing about these things. It's a bit like when we were probably all growing up, it was all about the ozone. And that's what gives me hope. We were managing to sort of reverse the effects and restore the ozone layer. So humans are, even though we are inherently selfish, but there is hope for us. We can, if we need to and we get a bit of a rocket up our arse, we can actually tend to